Ayman Khan here for Seconds Out with Dazn's Alfie Sharman. We've just witnessed the press conference end for Anthony Joshua versus Robert Helenius. It's been a bit of a tumultuous few days, Alfie. Relieved to finally get the opponent in.
100%, yeah. It's been a few days, but look, we're here. As I said up there, we're in fight week. When AJ fights, you can tell by the turnout today, it's a big deal. Fair play to Robert Helenius for stepping up. Everyone knows his pedigree, he knows boxing. Our focus was just making sure that AJ still fights this weekend, and we've achieved that, so we're very happy, yeah.
You talk me through that process and the process that led to Robert Helenius being picked, Robert Helenius being decided as a suitable opponent for Dazn, and also then it being delisted from pay-per-view to the normal Dazn subscription.
Yeah, well, I suppose one answer can encompass all of those questions. It's working at pace. As I said, going back to it, our core objective, which we had to focus on during a very turbulent few days, to use your language, is to focus on the fact that we wanted a fight on Saturday. Now, how can we make sure that we're delivering, number one, AJ, the best fight that's on his journey? How we can address the fact that the undercard is great, I'll come on to in a sec. But from a Dazn point of view, the pay-per-view point, we want to make sure that as many people are watching these fights as possible. We're also acknowledging that a change that we've just experienced needs some adaptation from a business point of view. And as Eddie said up there, there's a lot of commercials that go on behind the scenes, which I'm not going to go into the detail of, that need to be worked through very quickly to enable such an event to happen in 72 hours notice.
I appreciate it's obviously a developing situation, but at current, with Dillian Whyte's situation looking to clear his name for testing positive for performance and substances, what's Dazn's stance on his future for being broadcasted for future fights on Dazn?
Well, look, that Matchroom are handling that process as they normally do. They've handled it very well. I think we're focusing on obviously making the fights happen. Drugs in sport is obviously something that nobody wants to see. Dazn are certainly not condoning it. I know that there's a process will take place with Dillian disputing it, which won't have anything to do with us. We focus on what we're doing. But yeah, it's not great, right? But we're a sports broadcaster. How can we? We're not going to be particularly best pleased by it, but as I said, I'll focus very, very quickly. I can't articulate how quickly we then quickly switch to making sure that we're putting a show on Saturday that is going to make customers want to watch and buy.
How much of a say did Dazn have in the choice of the opponent when it came down to it?
Yeah, we're partners and it's our platform, and Matchroom know our business very well. We've worked with them for a very long time, as you know. We work very closely with them, communicate daily. So they put forward opponents that they know suit our objectives as a business. There was a selection, not quite as many as been speculated online, but we landed on one that we believe to be, it's a test for AJ. It's a complete change in strategy from his previous opponent, of course. But yeah, of course we're involved in the process with the objective that we want to fight on Saturday. We can't procrastinate too much.
Now, in terms of Matchroom, how happy are you with the relationship, and in terms of driving subscribers in the UK to the platform too?
Yeah, very happy. We've had a great year so far. We've had some bad luck over the last 18 months as well. Which is out of our control. We focus on what we're doing. We've had some fantastic fights this year in the UK. Obviously, the US is a massive market for us as well. Yeah, we're very happy with Matchroom. It comes back to the main thing with Matchroom is they understand they're a partner of ours. It's not like a shop transaction. They're part of our business. We work with them incredibly closely. So they know what we're expecting. They know our objectives, vice versa. So far it's been great, and we've had some excellent moments on our platform.
Moving to some of the wider things in the Dazn sphere, Jake Paul versus Nate Diaz, how did that do on the platform too?
Really well. Did you watch?
Yes, I did.
Promise?
I did.
On Dazn. It was great. Massive event. Obviously, I say night and day difference. It's kind of in between the X Series space, and traditional. Obviously, it's certainly not traditional boxing, but obviously the caliber of Nate and Jake's pedigree in the ring is, remains. He's improving. So, for us, it was massive, huge event. Marked some big moments for us commercially in the US. Obviously, partnering with ESPN. Dazn has always been open to partnering with broadcasters. We're a boxing platform. We're a multi-sport global platform. We don't get anywhere without collaboration. Obviously, Tank Garcia, Ryan earlier this year was a good example where we did that with Showtime. But look, the event was massive. We saw incredible viewership. The buzz was amazing in Dallas. The fight was entertaining. And yeah, it was diversifying the viewing experience for our customer base. So it was very good.
I would like to present to you slight criticism, a bit of unlucky circumstances as well too, not really Dazn's fault here, but a bit of a streak of unfortunate moments where you had Helmsley lifting her top during an event, you had Alex Dean throwing hot dogs at a Muslim, and then you had some choice words during the Jake Paul versus Nate Diaz press conference. I wonder what Dazn's reaction was to those moments, which might be offensive to some.
Yeah, absolutely. We acknowledge that they're certainly offensive to people. And again, we don't condone that at all. We certainly don't encourage that type of behaviour. What we are dealing with here are individuals. We're dealing with human beings. We can't control everybody's actions all the time. People go away around promoting fights. We've addressed a lot of those examples you just gave there. We've addressed those internally, so to speak, with the athletes themselves. And processed as we see fit, which is, as you rightfully say, not to be associated with it. But I go back to the point: you're dealing with human beings. There is a risk in sport that somebody is going to do something out of your control. All you can do is hold yourself with decorum and dignity afterwards and react, which we have done.
Appreciate the answer there. Moving on to as well, I believe you secured the rights for the Saudi Premier League moving forward, which has also turned some controversy in the football sphere, but happy to close that deal.
Yeah, so it's an ongoing piece. There's not much, can't comment too much on it, to be honest with you, because it's still very much a live piece. There's negotiations are ongoing, but as I've kind of said in quite a lot of these interviews, but we're a global. This is the important thing that people need to realise. There's only a global multi-sport broadcast platform. We're always looking to grow our rights portfolio. Without that, we don't have a proposition. That is in the UK and the US, which are my markets that I look after. But this is everywhere. We can't compete with in the big leagues if we don't add stuff to our platform. So more to come in that space. But it's just a further demonstration that we want more content.
I'll ask you this question sincerely and directly. Does Dazn's success in the UK hinge on securing Premier League rights?
No.
Just straight no.
Well, no, because there's sport's huge in the UK. I mean, we're doing incredibly well in boxing. We also have Professional Fighters League on the platform, which is doing incredibly well. With still boxing space, but the X Series crossover boxing world, again, it's opened up an entirely new audience for us. 90% of the audience that have come on in the last 12 months for X Series are entirely new to our platform. There's a lot of sport in the UK. We've got IPL cricket on our platform in the UK now. The focus at the moment is boxing, excuse me. That's going to move the needle for us. That is why our focus and a lot of the media that you see in the press is around our boxing. Because obviously we've got AJ, we've got a fantastic relationship with the biggest promoter in the world in Matchroom. So naturally people are going to say, well, you're just boxing. There is a lot more on our platform, and we plan for that to be. So yeah, football is huge, and very expensive, and it's very competitive. But there's a lot more than just football in the UK. I think we can all agree on that point.
I think one of your competitors recently had a merger which now sees BT Sport become TNT Sport. What do you make of that merger, and are there increased competition after that merger? Yeah,
congratulations to them. I think, again, their objective will be the same to ours: to grow, to evolve, to acknowledge the marketplace, the change and dynamic in the way that people consume content and sport. The expectations of people and pricing is incredibly high. Without going too political, there's cost of living, there's lots of stuff going on. People need to adapt their business models, and that's what they've done, and we wish them the best of luck.
Alfie, I wish you the best of luck for this event on Saturday too. Hopefully no more pull-outs. Thank you for speaking to SecondsOut, sir. Much appreciated. Yeah.